Hey, welcome everyone. Hi, welcome back to Sentinels of the Multiverse. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and I'll be jamming our game of superhero. Tonight is issue 5. I just need to set the text properly for the CCs. There we go. So issue 5, end of the beginning, part 2, we're going to pick up exactly where we left off 2 weeks ago, at the beginning of the encounter with Simulacra. But before we go into a recap of what happened, let's just go and introduce our characters in this game, beginning with the person to my left on the overlay, and we're gonna go counterclockwise. Pooja, hi.
Hello, everybody. I am Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at Pooja. My pronouns are she, her, and I am once again reprising the role of Anaya, our resident doctor and reluctant earth shaker, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Up next, we have Andrew. Or maybe not, I don't know.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm good. Hi. My name is Andrew. My pronouns are he, him. I am playing Fitzroy, whose pronouns are also he, him. Fitzroy is our teleporter and resident himbo, out to do what he can to help people and make himself happy at the same time. I'll leave it there.
All right, up next, we have Hannah.
Hi, I am Hannah. My pronouns are she, her, and in this campaign, I'm playing Archer Ashley, the sharpshooter lone wolf, whose pronouns are also she, her.
And lastly, we have Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Bayani, the longtime veteran hero who is taken it upon himself to raise the next generation of heroes.
It says Cyberpunk under the video because I completely forgot to change it. Give me a moment.
Surprise, everyone, we're playing Cyberpunk tonight.
Patch.
Shoot, number 5.
It's going to be a session 0 character planning.
There we go.
Oh, hey, look, it just updated.
Yeah, that means all of my uploads are gonna be screwed again. But that's okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine.
I was going to say, I kind of wish we could just play a clip where the Kool-Aid man bursts through the wall after everyone just said, oh, no.
So, to get us back to where we were in our last issue previously on Sentinels of the Multiverse, the group had infiltrated a secret bunker under a statue in the park in San Francisco. Tripped up pretty much every alarm along the way, and got into a fight with a returning, not so friendly face, Manowar, who they had previously fought like the night before, as well as a giant murder toaster and an entire swarm of drones. You found out that one of these rooms in the bunker actually held sort of like a strange cloning facility, maybe? You couldn't really get your answers in time because one Simulacra showed up and monologued a little bit before drawing 8 of these beads. The same ones that you saw when you cracked open the cube that was left when you had defeated Manowar in the first issue. She threw them around, and each of these beads became an exact replica of her. Before we dive into tonight's issue, I just want to remind everyone that you can screw with the players, mostly help them, but also alter the game and unlock some cool things by visiting the link in chat and playing our trading card game. Each dollar that we raise through the purchase of these boosters packs go straight back to the players and is a way to basically thank all four of you for taking some time off every week to play in this game.
Put yourself in danger, chat. Do it. Put yourself in danger. I'm game.
It's
Bring
too
it on.
early!
It's going to happen
We just got here.
anyway. And also, we have another link that I created last time, which is...
Not working?
Yeah.
Are we having IT gremlins strike again?
No!
We have the OSHA violation counter. That's cool. There we go. Anyone can call it up if they want to. I think only moderators, can call it up. But you can also take a look at our rogue gallery if you want to follow along and see who exactly are the villains that the players have faced before, are currently facing, or maybe have heard of. You'll get pretty much the same information that the players have, and this is updated basically at the end of each session. Without further ado, let me remind our dear players that the scene in which they find themselves is red, which means that all of your red powers have activated, but so have all the red powers of my villains. And that means that the scene is also ending soon, which means the fight might not last as long as you think it will. That said, again, you play first. The four of you can decide amongst yourselves who goes first. But like I said, the first panel that we would see would be like a shot from the ground. You could only see like part of Simulacra's legs. The camera being right under her, facing the four of you, as all of these clones are like surrounding you amongst the destroyed room, or at least the heavily damaged, cloning room. And there's a severely beaten up Manowar who is not going to pose any problem unless chat does something. Thank you for the hero points. So, what do you do?
So I think that Bayani's principle of the veteran is going to kick in. And this principle is basically that he's clear-headed and it's an intense combat situation. He's concerned because his charges are never been in a fight like this before, and they're heavily outnumbered, 2-1, almost 3-1. So, yeah, and we did activate his Paragon Feat power last time, and he's going to do it again this time. But it's going to take a different form. So, his outline just flares a little bit more, and the fire, which was burning orange, is shifted its tint to blue, as if it was getting hotter. And you see a very long rope with a meteor hammer at the end take shape, and he just starts whipping it around. And then he's just going to glance at his teammates and then just say, make the most of your next shots. And the meteor hammer is going to fling out and pass through all three of them. And basically, that's going to be the portion where they get boosted. And unlike the previous one, it's this one's a little bit different since it's he's deliberately now imparting a portion of his chi into each of them. And with that, though, means that they get a very brief glimpse into the situations in the past where he's been in a very dire combat position. But it's going to be a different one for each player.
Oh.
So we'd see, like, in our panel, the hammer passing through each one of you, your eyes flaring the same blue flame. And what is it? Let's do a bit of improv. What is it that you see when you're inspired?
So each of them are going to see this image of Bayani fighting a different rogue from his rogues gallery. And so Hannah's character is going to see a glimpse of a crow-like figure, like Brandon Lee, essentially.
Okay, not the bird.
Not the bird. She's going to see Brandon Lee and Bayani squaring off in a children's playground for some reason. Let's see. Anaya is going to see Bayani in the jaws of a very big, giant earth dragon struggling to escape it. And let's see. Fitz is going to see Bayani about to get stabbed in the back by a very sexy, hot-looking fiend. Like a really badass femme fatale. And, yeah, that's what he's going to say.
I was afraid you were going to say, like, and Fitz sees Bayani ordering at Wendy's. So make your roll for Paragon feat, please.
Okay. And so, quick question: the Paragon feat also has its primary use is to use the overcome.
Yeah, in this case, we're gonna go with help.
Help. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna use, your whatever check you roll, whatever number you roll. We'll use that in the boost or hinder table instead.
Okay. Will it be hinder because the second part of the power is the boost? So.
It's overcome and boost.
Yeah. So overcome using. Yeah. Overcome.
We'll
using...
say boost hinder.
Okay.
I'd say instead of overcome, do hinder.
Okay.
That way you'll keep the same die for boost.
Great. And so, by the way, I also want to point out that my personal upgrade is still in effect. So whatever this is gets a +3 to both of those rolls.
Ooh.
So the overcome portion, which is going to be the hinder, is a combination of the min and max dice. So that's a 10.
+3.
+3, so that's a 13.
So that's
And
a -4.
And then the clutch, or the mid die, which is the boost to the team, is a 4, which a +3 it makes it a 7.
So everyone gets a +2 on their next check.
Sweet.
And the meteor hammer goes through everyone around you, right?
Yeah.
So it'll affect all 8 of them and Simulacra.
Right.
Does that stack with the tactical analysis boost as well, or is that something separate?
Bayani, is it written that it's exclusive?
It is not written as exclusive.
Then it stacks.
Sweet.
Who's next?
All right, I'm probably gonna wait till go to the end, since I'm not doing anything that affects us.
Anybody got any thoughts on how to figure out which one of these is the real simulacra?
Oh.
Thank you for bringing that up, Hannah. That actually would be an overcome challenge.
Ah.
If anyone wanted to spend their turn to identify who's the real one, you only need to succeed on one check, and you would like somehow, maybe like a telltale sign that one of them is actually true. Which, now that I think about it, because I didn't think about it at all last week or today until you said it, but that could have been the overcome that Bayani did. But we'll keep it at hinder. No big deal. It just makes all of my minions useless. But yeah.
If so, I have an overcome from darkness, which I connected to my teleportation and acrobatics. Maybe, and I'm gonna think out loud here. If Fitz focused on teleporting to the real simulacra, he might be able to teleport and like appear next to her, knowing that she's the real one. So I think that's what he's gonna. That's what Fitz is going to do. It's attack or overcome using teleportation / acrobatics. Boost myself with my min die, and the way it's going to work is he's just going to focus on the first. Like, I mean, they're all there, right? He can see them, but he's really going to focus on her when she first appeared to do what he can to show up next to her.
Okay.
So
you have that +2 from Bayani.
Yes. This. We're in red.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I actually will use myself, like, this self-teleportation, any acrobatics, and I'll put red. Which I've spent some hero points to boost one of these to a d10.
Oh, cool.
FYI.
And I've also added in the Zoom chat the current common dice pool.
Ah, yes. I think I will stick with my dice pool as is for now, for this.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. Rolling.
All right.
So the mid die there is a 7. I boost myself with the min die.
Don't forget that you have the +2, so everything that you have there is at +2.
Okay, so that's a 9 because of the +2. And if I'm boosting, does the boost to myself with my min die apply after the overcome or during the overcome?
Unless it says it. Wait, where is it? Overcome from darkness.
Yeah.
So you overcome first.
Okay.
And then you boost yourself with the other.
Okay, so I'm gonna have a +2 boost after this, but I'm using Bayani's.
Okay. Bayani's goes on the first one, and then the boost would be your min die.
Awesome.
Without Bayani's boost.
Okay, yes. Right. So I'll be boosted 2 later, and right now my mid die is now a 9 because of the +2 from Mr. B.
So with a 9, the action completely succeeds without any twists. By the way, your boost gives you a +1.
Okay.
So you focus on the real one, you close your eyes, poof out and reappear behind the one that was talking to you last time. She didn't move among her clones.
Fitz isn't going to. I'm kind of assuming that Fitz's turn is kind of like done at this point, but he will kind of raise his sword. Like the team will notice that he's going to attack this one particular version of Simulacra.
Okay.
I had an additional story element. Like, there would probably be this ghost of Bayani doing the same movement from the memory that he just did, as if it was, instinctual.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the last thing Anaya did had been to cannonball through the cages and let the people out, right?
Yeah, you ran through everything and broke all the glass because you were like denser than steel.
And then I have a note here that says we had 8 minutes with D4s and 2 turns before we lose them, or was that Simulacra?
No, that's Simulacra.
Okay,
She
I don't know.
has
It's for
8
8 minions. I don't know who did
and
it.
you have 2 turns before the scene ends.
Okay, well, in a panic, I think Anaya is going to. I think she's like barely coming back from her like steel density, and she just before she loses it completely, she is going to punch her fist into the ground and create a field of hazards, which allows her to hinder any number of targets in the scene using Quake and her max and min dice. So that's a red power. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So that's a Quake, and well, she's going to want to make them trip. So I don't know. Medicine? I don't know. She's trying to fuck them up. Or in like, okay, I got medicine and alertness, investigation, and self-discipline. Like, maybe self-discipline?
Yeah, if you're trying to do like a controlled quake.
Yeah, she is only trying to hit the 9 targets. And the D12. Okay, let's.
And Fitz is relatively close. We're talking melee range to one
he's
of those 9.
Right there.
It does say I get to hinder any number of targets in the scene, right?
No,
So
but just playing into your
picking.
self-control. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes. So I have a 12, an 8, and a 12. All right. Oh, goodness. A 2, a 6, and a 7. So I get to use... Oh, +2 from Bayani.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so does the plus... Did you say the +2 applies to each die?
Yeah, to determine your let's say you need to determine your min die or your max die, like consider that they are at +2.
So I have to do both. So is that going to be a 9 + 4?
No, it would be a 9 + 2 because you're adding them together. Sorry.
Okay, so only if I'm taking 2 numbers, only one of them gets the +2.
Yeah, what I mean is, let's
Okay.
say you have like a persistent bonus,
Mm-hmm.
and your action does 2 separate things, like overcome and attack. You would have 2 on the overcome, 2 on the attack.
Okay, so they are all hindered with an 11.
Holy moly. Is that a sorry, is that a exclusive hinder? Does
It just
say,
says
like, exclusive or permanent
no.
or persistent?
The whole thing says hinder any number of targets in the scene using Quake, use your max and min dice, and then if you roll doubles, which I didn't, I would have also gotten to attack each target using my mid die.
All right. So, you describe how you create this quake first.
Like I said, as I think you kind of see the density of Anaya's body returning to human, but she kind of focuses and like flexes her right fist, and it there's like a ripple seen through it before she lets the density back to normal. She punches down into the ground, and you see immediately. This is probably one of the. I don't think anyone has seen her do this yet because we haven't gone into this level of red powers. But she kind of screams because she's putting all of her effort into controlling this. And you see, I think 3 immediate deep cracks in the ground radiate out from her fist and then divide even further. Heading out and missing Fitz by like, I would think like a centimeter at the tip of his toe and getting Simulacra instead. And you just see the ground beneath each of these Simulacra begin to crumble, giving like severely putting him off balance. I don't know if some of them fall over or what happens, but it happens kind of all at once. Simultaneously, so they can't even like jump around to each other because the whole it's like the ground is undulating where they're standing essentially.
The moment that the quake begins, Simulacra laughs. She's having a hard time to keep her feet on the ground, but she will say, I wouldn't have done that if I were you. And as the clones begin to fall down, you actually notice that each of them changes to a hapless civilian, namely Chat.
No!
And
dear.
your quake, having shook the bunker enough that some of the pipes from the ceiling are breaking down and falling probably onto them.
Oh no, Anaya is usually the saver of Chat, not the destroyer.
We'll see what you
Help
did
us,
there.
Archer, you are our only hope.
Okay. Dang, I was gonna go for Simulacra, but is there like one particular, I don't know, what's the configuration of the pipes that are falling? Like, what looks like it's the most peril at the moment?
So pipes are falling. It's horrible. And you notice that not only that, but some of the pipes have burst, and steaming hot steam is blowing out of the pipes, which is the catastrophe card that was just played, and it's slowly filling up all the room. The steam will hurt everyone, oddly enough, even Bayani for some reason. But also Chat. So, but also you. But also Simulacra. So the pipes hurt everyone. Chat is in danger from 2 sources, though you only need to overcome 1 to save them.
Okay, I'm trying to imagine this. Are the pipes like within reach currently? Like, is the pipe that's spitting hot air?
Remember in Sentinels, unless you're moving to a completely different location, everything's within reach. Like, even if I say it's 500 yards away, if it's in the same location, you can get to it in 1 turn.
Okay. I would like to try to use strength and strength and finesse, maybe, to turn the pipe that is spraying the hot steam and put it directly onto Simulacra.
Ooh. Okay.
That's cool.
That will be an overcome challenge.
Okay, and I'd like to use the +2 from Bayani. Can I use that? Okay. Okay.
And there's our dice pool if you need. I feel like we need to re-mention that.
Yeah.
Because we always forget.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. All right. 5, 4, 9. And you use your mid die, so that would be a 7. You succeed, but with a minor twist. And I know what the minor twist is going to be. You get burned. So basically, as you're, like, you know, bending the pipe, you'll get, like, steam blown right at your face, Archer.
That's fine.
Taking 5 damage.
Oh,
Now, when we're in red, can I still use my yellow powers, or can I only use my red
always.
powers? Okay, so I would like to use Tactical Analysis, which is a reaction. When attacked, treat the amount of damage you take as a boost action for yourself.
So you would boost yourself by 5, well, as if you had rolled a 5, which means that's a +2.
Okay, sweet.
So angered by the steam, or probably using the cover from the steam that you're blowing on her. So for all intents and purposes, this catastrophe has been overcome. However, it will still attack Simulacra every turn. Unless she also uses a, an overcome to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, it's her turn. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Nah, I couldn't think about it earlier, so all right, she will she's getting like a face full of steam and says, "Oh, we're not done here." And she throws a few, or like rolls a few beads on the ground to appear, and size of your min die, and it's technology gadget, so it's 10, 10, 10. She has a 5. What does that do again? Sorry, I haven't used her powers in like 2 weeks. Oh, her min die is a D10, so oh boy. So there's 5 minions. Oh, because she was a D10, D4 the last time. Yeah. So she rolls like 5 beads on the ground, and these like 5 soldiers show up. Chat is still in danger, just not from the steam.
Okay.
From the
falling
debris.
pipes, yeah.
Yeah.
Forever in danger.
And she takes a D8 damage. That's not literally necessarily a D8. She takes the normal amount, which in this case will be 6 from the steam. So yeah, you have these soldiers that show up, but they're not modern soldiers. They're dressed in this almost sci-fi looking armor. Kind of like, almost like liquid steel. That forms up around their limbs and can move. As they move, it's like it leaves some goo behind that evaporates like bubbles. Their suit under the armor, you can see it's like a dark gray, maybe like charcoal-like, with silver hex pattern on it. And their heads are covered in I did not see it, Prax. Oh, yes, I see it now. Recharge. Okay, my bad. Thank you. I'll just check that. But their heads are covered in a mask that looks like Hanzo's mask from Overwatch. Like, it has like this, just this slit. Looks almost like Shredder's mask from Ninja Turtles, but like really completely enclosed with just like a line that's lit up. And they are actually fighting with claws. Like these long... energy claws, but not the same shadow energy as Fitz. More like lightning. And you get the recharge card, which is not on my list here because I'm a midget.
Is +2 to health, no?
I think
I
it's
think
+2 for everybody.
Recharge is heal the whole team for 2.
Sweet. Thank you. I don't know how we're gonna solve this in one action.
So these 5 will attack right away. The ones that are civilian now can't do anything. 1, because they're in danger. 2, because they now have a cumulative -7. And they use D4s, so that's not gonna change anything.
That's not gonna
However, the 5 soldiers are going to attack. And what I'll do is I'll do 1 on each of you, and then 1 that I'll roll randomly. But they have a -7, which means that they might not do much. Alright, so I'll start same order as we did the intro. So Anaya, you're safe. Fitz, you're safe. Archer, you take 2 damage. Bayani, you take 1. And Bayani, you get attacked by the last one for nothing.
Oh
boy.
Okay. Bayani's going to use his reaction power called Misdirection. And it's when a nearby hero is in yellow or red, it would take damage. Defend against that damage using your single fire die, then redirect any remaining damage to a nearby minion of your choice.
Alright, which minion do you choose? One of the soldiers or one of chat?
The soldiers.
Alright, so one of them will take 1 damage. So if I roll...
Well, I have to roll my fire die, so...
Oh, okay, good. And that's the damage they take. Okay.
No, that's the shield I think that takes. So then, how does this power work again? Defend against that damage by rolling your single fire die and redirect any remaining damage to a nearby minion of your choice.
Okay, so basically you roll your fire die. That's the damage reduction you have. And if there's any number or remaining points from your fire die, it is redirected to the minion.
Oh, that's cool, because you only took 1, so hopefully you'll get to redirect a lot.
Oh, no, remaining damage. My bad. No, it's the opposite.
Oh.
It's if Bayani takes a lot of damage, he can kill a lot of minions. So in this case, I mean, you'll defend for sure, because you need to roll a 1. So...
I was going to use it to defend Archer, actually.
Oh, okay.
Right, I got 2 damage, so I got the most damage there.
Cool.
Well, the fire die is 1.
Okay. So, you save 1 damage, Archer. And I need to roll a d10. But 2 seconds. Cards are coming in at a pace that I cannot.
Can I still use my reaction to absorb the 1 point of damage?
Of course.
Okay.
All right, Archer, you will also heal 1d6
Oh, cool.
from a band-aid from Shawtails.
Thank you, Showtails.
And then we have, high stakes. I saw that earlier, which is going to be very, very fun.
Oh no.
Because high stakes.
How could it get
moved
higher
the
stakes?
scene-
We have 1 round.
No, that's it. Godless Lawyer took that round away from you.
Oh, so it's over.
So here's what's going to happen.
Oh no.
Bayani, you redirected the damage with misdirection. The sort of like future soldier misses, and basically, you know, almost like dashes forward or trips forward. And another one was attacking Archer at the same time. The two of them sort of bang into each other. Archer, did you also roll to soak that 1 point missing? Yes. So you're safe.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Roll 20 didn't update for me. So you just, dodge out of the way. The two of them just like trip over each other. The ground is still shaking. The entire bunker is falling down. And, there was this huge jet of steam. And right after, you've moved out of the way, after everyone has sort of gathered their wits again, Simulacra isn't there anymore. In fact, not only that, but with the quake, the extensive damage from the fight with the bots earlier, and probably something that she rigged in the bunker in case something was going to happen, the entire complex begins to crumble. You barely have time to escape. I will need to look at one little thing. I believe you still have one action at the end of the scene tracker, but I am not quite certain. Yes. Sorry, it's been a time, and I didn't think we would get to the very last, the very last tick during the GM turn. Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. I know that. That's all fine and good. Yes. The scene is out and something bad happens. My plan moves forward. You fail to save people. Basically, we're going to snowball this into a daring escape. I'll say this is going to be a 3-point scene, green, yellow, red. That's how long you have to do anything that you want in the bunker before it crashes over all of you. So since we're moving back to green, only green powers for this first turn, and then yellow-green for the second, and then everything for the last one again.
That was a rough card.
Yeah.
Yes, but someone believes in you. Bits, you get a +3 from Godless Lawyer, who believes in you.
Oh.
So, again, your turn to play. Remember, the minions are still there. Those 5 soldiers are still going to try to murder you. Chat is still in danger, but you have 3 rounds. Remember, if you want to do anything in the complex, there was still this one door that you didn't go through.
Does chat still have a -7 to everything?
Chat doesn't really roll anything,
Okay.
so it's just narratively speaking, like, they're in a lot of trouble because of that -7, but it's not going to affect you trying to save them, for example.
Okay. I
Yep, go. Sorry.
hold on. Let me. Anaya's gonna go first because what she's gonna do is gonna affect all of you. So she is going to start running and trying. Like, I'm assuming things are falling, like pipes and buildings. So she's gonna start like dodging rubble and jumping over it, and kind of trying to quickly assess who's in the most danger from falling building parts, and try to start moving those people over. Essentially, what she's doing is galvanizing, which allows her to boost using, in this case, agility and medicine, because life saving is what she's focused on. What that does is this boost will apply to all hero attack and overcome actions until the start of my next turn.
All right.
So
if anyone else wants to save chat, then with your help, it'll be that much more easy.
Yes, and I'm actually, given that this is a boost, I think I'm gonna grab that D10.
Okay.
And roll that. Okay, here we go. Because now I'm rolling 3 D10s. So hopefully there'll be something good there. It's just a 4. But everybody gets that to all attack and overcome actions.
So that's a +2 to attack and overcome actions until Anaya's next turn. Basically, you would see Anaya as you run around, and as the dust begins to pile up and basically choke out both your breathing and your view in the room. A lot of members of chat are like crushed under pipes or under pieces of concrete that has fallen down. There are injured people, but they can still be saved. Yep.
Sorry. Fitz seen the door is within view, right? Like it's like on the opposite side from where they came in from.
Do you mean the door that you've never been through?
Haven't opened, yeah.
Yeah, so it was remember like that warehouse room had 3 doors, one from which you came, which was the corridor. The other one was the fridge door that you needed to hack go through, which is where you are right now. And the other one, which, yeah, you can, like, if you crank your neck a bit, you can see it.
Okay. Fitz will. I mean, I would say this is how it goes. He registers like another door, and that therefore might be the safest way out or the next best like exit. Is there a lock of any kind on that door? Is it sealed in any way?
No, it's the same type of like metal doors that you saw when you went into like the newer part of the bunker.
Okay.
There's no lock on it. It's just like a like push or pull handle.
Open. Okay. Then that might not, because I was gonna overcome with the principle of the gearhead to, get the door open if it was one of those like sealed doors.
In fact, moving to this room, because it's a new location, you wouldn't need to roll anything, but it would take your turn.
Okay.
But at the end of it, you are for sure in that other room.
No. I need more thoughts. Other people with thoughts, go for it.
Bayani has a move, but he can't do it until the red phase, which really sucks. But in the meantime, he's going to use dual strike, and he's going to attack or try to negate the claw ninjas.
Okay.
And I'm going to use one of the D12 dice. So I need to roll fire, close combat, and instead of a D6, I'm going to replace that with a D12.
That works. And does dual strike affect more than one person, or are you just like hitting someone twice?
Yeah, so what it does is attack one target using fire close combat, attack a second target using your min die. Does my personal upgrade carry over from the previous scene?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you didn't use that bonus yet, have you?
It's a persistent and exclusive bonus.
Then, because it's exclusive, it just means that you cannot use any other bonuses on it. But it's persistent. It'll last until, technically, the end of our session tonight.
Okay. So, I guess the mid die is a 6, so that's 9 for the first attack.
Okay, let me check. They fail, that's 1 ninja down.
And the second one is a 4.
A 4. That's a success. So they, I believe, go down 1. Yeah.
Okay. So you just see the meteor hammer lash out in a direction that Bayani wasn't even looking at. And then somehow it caroms off that person to hit the second person before he pulls it back into its spin.
When you obliterate the first minion, they let out a muffled, echoing scream. Like there were two voices, that were just like a little bit delayed.
Mm-hmm.
The that they make is not human.
No, that's disturbing.
And Bayani, here's a challenge for you for the rest of this issue whenever you want. We'll call it Recollection of Old Memories. It is an overcome 1 challenge.
Okay.
At any point, if you want to do it, doesn't have to be in combat. Can be out of combat, whenever. Recollection. To basically have like a 1 or 2 panel flashback, because maybe you might remember what they are. That was for you, Bayani. We still have Archer and Fitz.
Well, I thought Fitz was going to the door, and I was going to say, Fitz, do you need cover? Because I can offer you cover while you're doing your gadget thing.
Yeah, it's not gadgety. My whole gadget idea. It's a push door. I could literally just push it open if I wanted to, but I'm trying to think if I can help save chat or something.
So Bayani was going to try to do it, but he's going to do it on the turn red. So if you can hang on or keep them going until then he can probably make it happen.
Yeah, my best stuff's on red too, but I'm going to try and take out one of the electricity ninjas.
All right.
I'll do precise shot. Attack using signature weaponry plus ranged combat. Ignore all penalties on this attack. Ignore any defend actions, and it cannot be affected by reactions. So, signature weaponry, ranged combat, green. Ugh. Dang.
Yikes.
Wait, you get bonuses though, right? Aren't you boosted by Anaya?
Yes.
Yes,
You do
because
get a
Galvanize gives you a +2.
Oh, cool. Better.
Yeah. You don't have any penalties. They cannot defend. Cannot be affected. So that's kind of cool. So you turn around, aim. You have a choice. There's still 3 of these soldiers that are, let's say, max health.
Mhm.
And 1 who's like currently moving the body of... actually, not even moving the body because the body vanished. So they're just getting back up from the attack. So there's 1 wounded, 3 intact. Who are you aiming at?
I'll go for the distracted guy.
Okay. I have to roll a 5 or above. Yeah. You fire at the minion,
Jesus, really?
who takes it like a
Thanks.
champ.
Things are not going our way.
Yeah. So, I think you're gonna fire, like, maybe at the helmet, and it chips off part of the metal, and you notice that the skin under is blue
What
and
the
slightly
hell?
scaly.
What the heck, Soros?
Just out of curiosity, how's everybody's mood at the current situation?
Panic.
Is this in character or out of character?
In character.
Biani's
Oh.
asking this?
No, he's going to be looking around, just trying
Okay.
to assess the team.
Okay, Anaya's not panicking. I think she's very much in like go 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 mode. She's assessing. She's got like that, that the doctor's thing has kicked in, and she's very much like, okay, how do I try to help these people as much as I can? And so she's very much focused on chat and trying to keep them safe from a building she might have caused to start falling. She'll think about that later.
Admittedly, Archer is more focused on getting rid of the bad guys than saving the good guys.
I'd say Fitz is very what the fuck.
I think, just during all of this, Biani's kind of getting the sense of that. He's just going to call it, guys, trust your decision making.
Fitz will actually use his green ability, Sabotage, to attack one of the closest minions, and it removes one physical bonus or penalty, hinder a target using my min die, or maneuver to a new location in my environment. So it's going to be an attack and then maneuver to, like, directly to the doors, like teleport to the doors right after the attack kind of thing. If I read this correctly. I do both.
It's Roy.
Attack using teleport or stealth.
Teleport and
remove-
stealth. It's you
and-
roll your
oh, yeah,
teleport
both,
die
okay.
plus your stealth die.
Okay, so attack using those two,
Uh-huh.
and then I remove a physical bonus or penalty,
Mhm.
and then either I'm hindering a target with my min die or maneuvering to a new location.
Yep.
Okay, so I will attack. I have a +1 from before and a +2 from the from Anaya.
Mhm.
Do I remove that before I count it in the roll?
So, when it says remove a bonus or a penalty,
Mhm.
I believe that the way it's, you would need to remove something like either a bonus or a penalty from you.
Yes.
I'll say before.
Before I die? Okay.
Yeah, because I think the way the sabotage works is you're going, by getting rid of this bonus or penalty, that's what's going to hinder your target with the min die.
Or allow me
maneuver.
to maneuver. Okay, so I will do that. I will attack one of these things, for lack of a better word. My +1 from before, I don't think it was a physical bonus, whereas Anaya's +2 is the physical bonus, so I would lose the +2. Oh, and
Yep.
don't I have something else from somewhere else? A plus something from Godless Lawyer?
Yes. A +3 from Godless Lawyer.
Okay, so I will roll. So the Mirdai is a 7. I'm not counting the 2, but if I do the +1 and the +3 is 7, 4, that's 11.
Indeed. And that's an attack?
That is an attack
Against
one of the
basically,
healthy.
You're killing one for sure. So healthy or wounded.
Healthy.
All right.
And in this,
describe what happens.
well, Fitz was ready to attack Simulacra, who's now no longer there. So he is simply going to kind of fade to black a little bit because he's using his stealth, and he will attack, stab, pretty much, one of the minions that is closest, the next closest minion. And as he withdraws his blade from the body of the minion, which should be crumpling to the ground in the process, he will teleport and appear at the door leading out.
All right. The door leading out, you mean?
The third door, sorry.
The one that you don't know what's behind it.
The one we don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Because it's a new location, you can actually teleport inside the room.
Okay.
Because it says maneuver to a new location.
It does,
the
yes.
The room is a new location.
Okay.
I mean, the door could be too, but I'm just saying you can literally, Nightcrawler your way through.
But I have the sense that it's notably to locations that he's visited before. It's not easy for him to get to locations he's never seen or never been to. So
That's true.
I would say more so he would teleport right up against the door and either push it open or have to push it open in order to really see what's beyond that door.
I'll say you can open it during the same turn.
Okay.
You can teleport and use the momentum to bust through the door.
Nice.
Awesome. So I will bust through the door
Bust.
Damn.
and strike a pose. I strike a pose after busting through, like we have to do this fight.
Yeah.
This is a lab. Actually, not quite a lab, more like a workshop. There's a lot of equipment, let's say tinkering equipment. And you notice, on one of the tables, they're all steel tables, the kind of, sterile environment. But there's a box, a clear plexiglass box. Maybe 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. It is filled halfway with these metal beads. And, looking at the other tables, you have microscopes, you have a lot of big binders, a stack of binders, and they are filled to the brim with paper inside. There's quite a few computers. Most of them, however, look like 1970s computer. You're not quite sure, but you believe that Simulacra probably had to scavenge computers from another room in the bunker and bring it into this lab. So it's not the best up-to-date technology. And there is hanging from the ceiling what looks like a giant metallic syringe. And the tip of the syringe, tip of the needle, glows a very bright red. Imagine a mix between a laser pointer and a syringe. But it is big enough that a single person could not wrap their hands around it completely. You could probably hold it on your shoulder because of super strength and everything, but normally this is the type of thing that to install it would take a team of construction workers. Everyone played? This is my turn.
Does it meet OSHA regulation?
I was gonna say, uncapped syringe, just a hanging.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's a
hanging
giant
off a
syringe.
ceiling.
Oddly enough, this place would respect OSHA code. But
This
I don't
has to be
know if
hard at
Fitz
area,
knows
right?
about OSHA code.
I think he would point at it and scream like OSHA violation for the hell of it. But
Which is, I think the in the comic, there's like the panel of the three other, like Anaya moving around, Archer and Bayani fighting, and there's just this speech bubble coming from the other, like outside of the frame, just screaming OSHA violation in like Fitz's font.
Love it.
There's a little mini window in that panel of Bayani's face turning into a scowl.
All right. Just so we are clear with something, there was a card that was played like a couple minutes ago. Godless Lawyer, I will get in touch with you because the card might not have been clear, but we're basically going to create like an important NPC together. So it's not someone that comes in to save them, like rescue them last minute. We are now going to seed the world with this character.
Nice.
oh my.
So the minions. The wounded one, whose like mask got chipped away, charges at Archer. And a bit like in the Flash TV show, if you've seen it, there are like these streaks of lightning zooming from its body to behind him as it moves and gains a lot of speed. And almost in a flash, like blink of an eye, is a few feet before you. And then probably very, very close to you, Archer, with probably a claw through your gut. But that'll depend on how I roll. They do not have any penalties anymore, but this dude is only at a d6. Yeah, you're going to take 5 damage.
Are we in yellow yet?
Nope, this is the last of the green.
Ah, dang it. Okay, that's fine.
Unless this damage brings you to yellow, then yes, you could use it.
Oh, I was already in yellow. Oh, sweet. So I can use...
Yeah, just so we all remember, yeah, if your HP is worse than the scene, those powers are unlocked.
Cool.
Oh.
So I'd like to use tactical analysis to take a boost for myself for this 5 damage. Ouchie.
+2 boost.
Sweet.
Does she do that badass thing that a guy who gets struck is like draw the claw even deeper because she's crazy and like yeah, this doesn't hurt.
Is it actually a claw, like Wolverine claws?
No, it's not steel. When you feel it in your gut, it burns. It's plasma. Hot plasma. You were lightsabered.
Good news when it gets
But at least
pulled
it
out, it'll be
cauterized itself.
And the other two that are full health, one of them is going to rush up behind Anaya and swipe across her.
Son of a gun. She's busy right now.
I know, but you're gonna take 4 damage.
We're in green, right?
Unless your HP was already yellow.
I'm just trying to see if I have a reaction. Okay. The only green reaction I have is damage resistance, which reduces the damage by 1.
So you only take
3 damage.
So you two, like, you feel the burn in your back as this like claw drags across you.
Rude.
And then Bayani, the last one, will deal 9 whooping points of damage as he runs in and basically slide tackles under your meteor hammer, under the spin of the hammer. And it's not a claw that'll hit you. It's this guy's foot right under your chin as he gets back up after the tackle.
Since that brings me to yellow, does this mean I can use a yellow reaction
Yep.
right now? Okay. So I'm going to use misdirection here again.
Mhm.
And basically, he's going to use misdirection to turn into the strike and maybe see if he could use that momentum to send the meteor hammer in a different direction towards another guy.
Oh, okay. Roll.
Fire.
You got this.
It's
Three
only
sep-
fire. When they say just fire,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's
So-
just a fire die.
Yeah, 3. That makes it a 6. Okay, so we got a 6 here.
Does this mean that minion takes
No,
that
it's
6?
only. Did you have a +3? Oh, from your
Persistent.
Yeah. So you soak 6 points of damage, and 3 damage is returned to that person in the form of you spinning, leaning into the blow and moving in such a way that you bring the hammer, you swing it back around. He fails and dies. What happens? How does that happen?
So you just see Bayani. He gets kicked and he sort of backflips from the kick, and with his legs split out, he swings the hammer so it flies right underneath him, and it just shoots out with ridiculous force through the guy's head.
Yeah, ouch. Just like the others, there's this echoing "Ah!" and then they, disappear. I'll check that during break, but that's gift 4 and 5. Yes, we were missing hero points. Well, no, Hannah, you had 9 from last time, but they need to be used tonight, otherwise
This
they
time,
disappear.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the 5 that you get, 5 so far, because we all know that's not going to stay at 5, will become something else that you can choose later on. Yes.
Okie dokie.
Sorry, it was faster to say it than to type it in the Zoom chat. Now the scene goes into yellow. Chat is still in danger. There's basically 2 turn. By the way, if you're not out by the end, you will be crushed in the bunker. I'm just letting you know.
So
This is going to have dire consequences.
Fitz, is there any way out of the room, so this is the dead end?
No.
Okay. Fitz is gonna grab the box.
Mhm.
Like, kid in a candy store, I just found the biggest lollipop. Grab the box. Come back into the room and, box underarm like it's nobody's business, of course. And because we are yellow,
Nope.
or his HP
Godless
is yellow.
displayed something, and each one of you can take 1 red power and turn it yellow for the scene.
Oh. Yeah, it won't change anything for what I'm thinking. In coming back into the room, box underarm, first he's gonna shout Mr. B, I've got the box, as though that was the objective the entire time. Okay. And he, his expression is just glee, and then he sees, of course, the impending doom and destruction. He is going to use Alien Boost. Boost all nearby allies using momentum. I use my max and mid dice. I hinder myself with my min dice.
Nice.
And Archer,
So-
you get a +1.
Oh, thank you.
This This. Okay. Um. Okay, so boost all nearby allies, and then use my max and mid dice. I guess that's
Wow.
where I get the boost from. So that would be 11 to boost whatever 11 equates to. Everyone gets a boost. All my allies get it, and then I hinder myself with my min die. So
Which is
I-
1.
which is 1. So
So you're gonna have a -1.
right to like my next.
To
To
your
I'm
next.
assuming my next. Okay.
But everyone else. Do you have any bonuses?
None left.
Okay.
I
so
think I
then-
Don't
burned
you
them
have
all.
hero points from last time?
Oh, I
what'd you
used them
convert them
to
to?
up some of my dice from d8s to d10s,
Oh, you did already. Okay.
but that's okay. It means everyone is boosted at +3.
including, if possible, Chad to get the hell out because I'm, momentuming them outwards. What this looks like is he looks like he's concentrating very hard for a second. We can put a question mark as to whether or not it's his constipated face. And then there's almost like this ripple, like this telepathic effect emanating out from him. And then he trips.
Sorry. After you said from him, my internet just froze.
Sweet.
We're back, but what did you say after that?
So the like mental effect like emanating from him, boosting everyone,
Mhm.
and then he trips over. Mental strain.
You also get a cheer from Godless Lawyer, which means that you get a +1.
Nice. So I will.
So you can basically use it right away to cancel the hinder.
I will do so.
Nice.
So I believe one of the under like a ton of rubble, as Fitz goes in and says like, "I got the box, Mr. B." There's like just Godless Lawyer's hand that like gives a thumbs up, Terminator style, from like a pile of concrete.
Oh, and this is not the way out.
So Bayani is just going to say, cover me. I'm going to create an exit. And you see like script like appear on the ground, and it's sort of just in fire and swirls all over the floor and lands into some key spots. And then in that appear as if they were being built instantaneously, step by step, a bunch of clean OSHA compliant scaffolds, which push up or will attempt to push up the ceiling. But then in the center of the room will appear a giant upward drill that's going to try to bore upward to create a way out
Okay.
directly.
So
and
that's
so
an
he's
old-
doing this. Yeah. So this is his Paragon feat.
All right. I know exactly what's going to happen. What can go wrong with the drill if you fail?
Oh no.
So I am going to. It's going to be Vitality, Clutch, and Red. So that's D10, D10, D10. But I am going to switch one of the D10s to a D12,
Ooh.
and then I'm going to use my +4 bonus that I spent on previous.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to not use my +3 bonus, which was persistent exclusive.
Yeah.
But can I use this +4 to stack with Fitz's bonus?
Yes, because none of them are exclusive.
Okay. What was Fitz's bonus again?
+3.
+3.
So it's a +7.
Yeah.
So the overcome uses clutch, which is 7 plus 7, that's 14. Oh, I'm sorry. Max and min. So that's
Ho
7
ho.
Jesus.
plus 10, which is 17, plus another 7, which is 24.
Not only does the drill bore through and will give you a clean way to go out, but with that 24, you also somehow drilled a perfect new subway station. Because, you know, you need a 12 to succeed beyond expectations.
Yeah.
You, like, did that twice. So, let's say chat is saved. We'll get back to that. I'll say with this enormous bonus, even if chat plays cards, right now the scene cannot go in red. Because it's safe. The scaffolds are holding the entire bunker safe. However, when you bore through the ceiling and the chat begins to run away, you know, flee to safety, each of their bodies shifts in form and becomes that of simulacra again. And they spread out across the city.
It. So I was right to start the earthquakes under those people? What's happening? What do we need to get out? We need to get out.
Well,
Are the
Is the
soldiers
building
still there?
falling?
Yeah, the soldiers are still there, but like everything will stay in yellow. There are 2 soldiers left, and they do not seem to be able to understand the gravity of the situation.
Okay. So if we don't get out, things will still collapse, right?
Nope,
Oh no. Okay.
you're entirely safe.
Okay.
It's just,
All right, so we
I
can
mean, your
focus.
only danger now would be those 2 minions who don't seem to understand. Will fight to the death.
Okay.
But that was Bioni's turn. I mean, you still have all 3 of no, because Archer Fitz played, so there's still you, Ayana, Anaya, and Archer.
All right. You want to go? Go ahead.
What did you have in mind for your turn?
I was just going to try to hit the person who stabbed me in the back.
Okay. Well, I'd like to try and hit the person who stabbed me in the front.
There you go.
Okay. So, question: the bonuses that I get for tactical analysis, they all have to be expended at once, or can I chop them up?
Tactical analysis. No, because it is a boost.
Okay.
So it's,
good.
it's one shot.
Cool. Okay. So, this guy has still got his claws in my stomach, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna use my red power, since I can use 1 red power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna use charged up blast, and I'm going to use signature weaponry, needs therapy. I'm going to use my boost of 13 that I have accumulated. I would like to grab this guy by the faceplate, shove my gun up under his chin, and blast his brains out while he's still got his claws in my stomach.
Give me a roll.
Okay.
By the way, he rolls a d6, so he will not survive. But I want to see just how high this is.
So that is max min plus mid and 13.
Max
Wow.
min plus mid?
Yeah,
So all 3 of them.
all 3 plus 13.
So 13, 15, 28.
Mm-hmm.
You explode. You explode the entire.
How far
person.
do brains travel?
How
Or
fast
plasma.
do brains
I think,
travel?
I think we're. It's
I think
sudden
one.
and
Yeah.
it's too sudden. I think he doesn't have time to teleport. So the body does not like disappear in a flash like the others did. This one has just like exploded like a watermelon all over the wall. And there's probably like a bit of like a dangly bit of gut from like in your hair or something.
Yeah.
There's no mercy in this dojo.
That's amazing.
Started it.
It's true.
There's only one left, the one that was behind you, Anaya.
So Anaya will turn to this person once she makes sure, like, well, I guess the chat Elacra is already out. She'll just grumble. And
I
she's
like that. Shadow Lacra.
Has no one taught you that hitting somebody in the back is incredibly rude? And she's just going to grab at pieces of fallen stone that have fallen everywhere, and she's mad. Grab at him and try to go smoosh into the head of the person. So that's gonna be geokinesis, and she's going for the. She's aiming for vulnerable spots. Where
Anaya, you
we're in
also
yellow.
have a +3 to that.
Oh my gosh!
There's my +3
All right.
too.
+3 from Fitz, +3. Okay, all right. Well, and okay, we're just gonna roll this. Let's see what happens. We're in yellow, right?
Yep. But you can take a red power and turn it yellow if you want it.
Why is my yellow? Is yellow always a D6?
What do you mean with your hit points? No, that's not supposed to be.
Why my yellow's a D6? For
Yeah,
some reason.
that's. Let me check. Let me check.
What do y'all have for yellow?
I have a
No, it
D8.
depends on your on like how you
Archetype?
became a hero.
Oh,
So I will.
I have a
tell you right
D12
now.
at red. It doesn't make
Um,
sense to have a D6 at
I
yellow.
think it's in your archetype. No, it's not your archetype. It's your personality. What's your personality?
My personality is nurturing.
Nurturing. As a nurturing hero, you have 6, 6, 12.
6, 6, 12. Okay, so it is a 6.
Yeah,
All right.
it's just your green should also be a 6. Yeah.
Yeah. What did Godless Lair play another cheer to go a little bigger?
Go just a little bigger. Yeah, it's another +3. So you're now at +9.
Oh my god, so +9. All right, I'm gonna roll.
Holy cow.
So that's a 6 + 9.
So I can only roll a d10. I mean, at +9, I could have survived if you had rolled a 1. That's not gonna happen. It says bigger. All right, there's an extra +1.
Well, if this minion is eliminated, the good thing is, I have as a reaction, I'll use Strength and Victory,
Okay.
which is when I eliminate a minion using an attack. With an attack using my Geokinesis and Medicine, I recover health equal to my min die. So I get a 2.
No, because you had a plus. Oh no, because the plus was already used. Yeah.
Well,
But
I do
we'll
have a
say-
+1 hanging around if I want.
Yeah,
to
there's the +1 hanging around, so that's a 3.
Yay! Thanks for healing me, friends. I'm pretty good on health now.
And with all the danger eliminated from the bunker, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be in a new location and keep going with our story. Stick around, everyone. Give us about 5-ish minutes, and we'll be right back.
Ish. I'm
I just
tired.
think it's a really,
We're tired,
really funny origin story
And
for how
we're
a city
back.
got its name.
So, let me change. I forgot. With all of the talk that we did during break, I completely forgot to change. There we go.
So funny thing, I didn't even realize the music was coming through Roll20, and at one point I was like, it's kind of a little on the loud side, and I realized it over break that, oh hey, I could actually turn it down for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was born blonde. That's all I'm gonna say.
Maybe Coast City's named after an explorer who was really lazy, and he was just,
I love it.
he was just coasting by, and just to say,
We call
you
it.
know
We call him our himbo.
yeah,
Coast City was founded by Jonathan Coast. We'll get to that, but the reason why we're talking about that, chat, is our next panel right after the mid page in the comic book, which has like an ad for whatever, and there's a little coupon.
sea monkeys.
Yeah, sea monkeys, and you can cut out the coupon, write your name and address, and mail it to them, and then they'll send you sea monkeys.
Yeah, it goes to a PO box, and then they send you from some unknown location, undisclosed location. They send you sea monkeys.
Wow, this is way too epic for Coast City.
This is. I was gonna say. I was like, damn.
Especially with the origin story that we've been discussing, that's a little epic.
Yeah. Let's go with this. This is probably going to be a little quieter. So, new page, new panels. We see the skyline of a metropolitan city. And at the bottom, Coast City. Next panel, we are inside the not the San Francisco office, but the main headquarters of Paragon Industries, which I imagine is probably one of the like landmark buildings.
Yeah, probably. It's known for its rooftop garden.
And it's been up to you players, could be a few hours, could be a few days, up to a couple of weeks later. You find yourselves back home after a very strange jaunt on the West Coast. In the end, you don't even know if you've actually stopped Manowar. You don't even know if he was real. Floor is yours. What's happening with the fort?
So I have a question about the bad guy that I managed to kill, that he didn't like vanish the way everything else did. Would that mean that pieces of that bad guy were left over? Okay, I would like to have kept the mask as a souvenir. Is that possible?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little chipped.
Mhm.
Yes.
All the better.
Did the one whose head Anaya smushed with her brain and rocks, did that one disappear?
He actually, yes, disappeared.
Okay. I think you'll see a panel that shows, like one panel that just shows like Anaya, which is in a clear hospital setting, kind of just showing that like things have kind of got back to normal. She's back doing hospital stuff, but then you'll also see her a few panels later in the lab that I'm assuming Fitz will be studying with her because, of course, as a reminder to our chat, one of her two principals is principal of the lab. So studying all of this stuff is built into her character. So whatever they manage to bring back with them, including Fitz's cube, and if if there were leftovers from the body that Archer was willing to sacrifice for science.
Oh, you can have the guts. I just want the mask as a trophy.
Yeah, well, I definitely kind of the outside material, the inside material, because those two didn't quite interact the way we expected them to. I think you'll see definitely kind of like a throwback to before this stuff went down when Fitz and Anaya were sciencing it up.
It's of course being focused on the like techie geary thing because all of that like chemical boom thing is just like beyond his. He'll stare confusedly at best and start doing push-ups just because there's nothing else to do.
Well,
if there's nothing
you can do push-ups in between Anaya saying, can you get me that thing? Like it's like a lab, but also kind of a little bit like a kitchen and the chef and the sous chef. There's a little bit of both.
Yeah. And remember we had that space in the team headquarters.
Yeah, so that's definitely where. So like I said, like the first clip will be of her at the hospital, and then it cuts to the team headquarters because just making it very clear that their job's not done. Like there's still things to learn.
You investigate and analyze what you found. For starters, none of that is human. It is a carbon-based life form. But their blood, which is, by the way, a sort of dark blue, which gives their skin the hue that they have. The blood cells are incredibly strong compared to human blood cells, in the sense that imagine if all of your red blood cells could also act as white blood cells whenever they needed to. They can repair themselves, but you notice that because it's been, some time, on a molecular level, everything is slowly breaking apart. Like if time spent away from whatever, maybe they need like a serum, or they need like to rest in a special chamber, or there is something that without it, the body dies. I mean, this one's already dead, but it's literally disintegrating.
That is interesting. And I think as she's looking at it, and I'm imagining other people filter in and out of the lab, and she'll like talk out loud and just be like, if we only seem to have half of the technology in the picture, but can you even imagine if we could find the other half? Just imagine how many people this could help. How many sick could benefit from something that could galvanize blood cells this way. But I suppose this booster or whatever other half of it that we're missing can help keep this technology in check and under the control of whoever controls the substance needed to keep these beings going.
Any reply to that, Fitz? Who I assume is like bare chest doing push-ups.
I mean, it's either that or Anaya has straight up pulled out, like, gone to the whiteboard and has like written some like overly complicated thing and has forced the three of them to sit down and like watch the presentation.
I wouldn't say that Fitz is necessarily bare-chested. doing his push-ups, but he is definitely fidgeting with some little gizmo, and he's gonna look at Anaya and be like, there was this big red syringe thing that was kind of glowy and drippy and stuck to the ceiling.
Was it
Right.
anywhere near? Well, we saw these villains emerge from the small marbles that
Yeah.
Simulacra threw. Were there marbles or something of the sort nearby that would make you think that that syringe was injecting them with something?
The box was right underneath it, and he like the box that he brought out that's like full of these marbles.
Oh,
It's
that's
like-
the box he brought out.
Yeah, that's the box he brought out.
Mm.
So
Have we examined? Well, I think then Anaya would also want to try to study the marble. She'll get like everybody lined up and like throw one on the ground to see if it turns into a person.
And it
Oh.
rolls.
And then
Actually-
she's also gonna Oh,
It rolls, which means that to Bayani's great disappointment, the floors are not perfectly level.
but that could be the momentum she put into the motion.
It could, or it could be
Fit-
that the city always moves and shifts a little because of the bad, not terraforming, but landscaping that was done.
It's
Fits.
okay. Anaya promises when she has enough control over her powers that she'll fix it. Only if you ask her to, because think about that twice, though.
Fitz, who eventually wants to know what all OSHA violations are, is going to point at it and just say OSHA violation.
So remember, the base is located in a pocket dimension. We'll
Oh,
just say
yeah,
that the
right.
pocket dimension.
The
We'll
pocket
say that the
dimension is
dimension crooked or it shifts every now and then.
That's funny.
Just because it's occupying a very
Someone
big
jiggles the
space.
pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, well then after Anaya is also going to eventually want to study the box marbles from the box of marbles to see if there's any sort of remnant of this external syringy stuff that Fitz spotted.
There is none, because the external syringy stuff was a laser. The marbles, I would need you to. That will be
I
an
wanna play
overcome
marbles.
challenge.
Okay, I will use Principle of the Lab, which allows me to overcome while in a familiar workspace with ample research time. So this will allow me to use my max die, and me and each of my allies will gain a hero point.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll.
if any assistance is
this-
needed, I would assist, given my principle of the gearhead, just if there's any
Yeah.
kind of techie, like need for sudden
I'm
electromagnetic.
sure lasers. We'll need some lasers.
You know,
How? Oh, and then I'm also going to use the +4 that I had from last session's hero points. I converted 4 of them to a +4. So I'm going to. So this is hard because am I really using any of my powers for this? How does a principle work?
So
when I'm-
the principle, what it is you're going to tell me which die, like which traits you're using, power, quality, and status is always going to be green.
yeah.
And then the max die is going to be what you will use to overcome.
Okay, quality. I'm using investigation.
Okay. In this case, looking at your powers, maybe none of them will work, and maybe you're gonna have to just use a D4. Or something from the common pool.
Yeah.
Something from the common pool.
Yeah, I'm gonna use something from the common pool. Let's go ahead and
We still have 6, 8, and 12.
let me grab that D6 then.
Okay.
Okay, just ignore the fact that this says density.
Yeah.
So D6 investigation. Green. What does assistance mean? Since Fitz is assisting.
I don't know. What are you doing to assist Fitz?
If need be, taking a paperclip and a rubber band and making an electromagnet out of it, because that's what worked last time.
True. So that would be a help.
Oh,
And-
thank you.
Before you, before you roll Anaya, just know that there is now an extra D6, D8, D10 in the pool.
Yay!
So,
And a D12.
well,
And
the
a
D10 just says times 10, so I got very confused. I'm okay, fine. I'm gonna change it to a D8.
Oh, it says times 10 because I did a dumb.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna use a D8, and then. Sorry, I missed. What does this? What does help do? Does it give me?
So it's a boost. So Andrew will have to roll first.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I will, based on like this passive principle of the gearhead, right? Not like, yeah, because I can't use my signature weapon for this. There's no need for momentum or teleportation. So I'm just gonna.
But the principle of the gearhead will not let you help, only overcome. So
Oh,
in this
right.
case,
Never mind.
In this case,
So-
it wouldn't be using a power. You would just choose.
Yes. Just choose
Not an ability. Yeah, choose like your 3 dice and.
through my.
Mm.
Okay, build my dice pool and ignore the ability. Yes. Okay, sorry. So I'm just gonna use.
Sometimes I forget we can do things that aren't powers.
Yeah.
Like abilities, we can just do combinations.
Absolutely. It always escapes me. So I'll roll just a D4, D8, and a D6 because we're in green.
You help with the mid. Mid is a 4. 4 is a +2. So whatever
Sweet,
you
okay.
roll, Anaya has a +2.
As a +2, and then I said I was also going to add a +4 from my hero points from last time. And I used my max die, which is a 6. Because I'm using Principal
12
Lab.
total.
Yes, and everybody gets a hero point.
Yay, I've already added it.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So 12.
Action succeeds beyond expectations. All right. What is it that you want to know?
Science!
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
We're studying the little marbles. I was trying to specifically, I was asking about, I am looking for the chemical or whatever missing component that is necessary to sustain the biochemical compound we found from the villains. Because you said that they were deteriorating and they needed something to react to keep going. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the second half of the equation.
Okay. This is gonna be in. You do not find that in.
Mhm.
Because one, the bead is unfinished.
Mhm.
You've managed to crack it open and look inside. It's a very, very tiny, like nano circuitry
Ooh.
board inside. It's basically a. Imagine almost like a supercomputer in a marble. And it contains, in a very tiny little chamber in it, a piece of DNA that you can match to the DNA of the creature, that the ninja person that was killed.
Nice.
If you open, because you succeeded with, a bunch of beyond expectations, not every bead has that. You were just lucky to get one, like the first one that Fitz took out was that one. The other one has human DNA in it.
Interesting.
You rummage around, you find another one. This one has shark DNA.
Okay, we start collating and tabulating all the DNA we find.
There's a lot of it.
At some point, Fitz is gonna
You
look
can play
at
with
one
the
of.
computers when we're done.
Does this mean I'm a bead?
Do we find Fitz DNA in anything? No.
I
Okay.
think Fitz was being a himbo in this case.
With your enormous success, I'll give you that to Anaya. It'll take like a few hours, like probably like you have to pull an all-nighter to find that. As you crack open a bunch of the beads, and some are completely empty. In fact, the majority of the ones in the box are just empty. There's not even the circuitry inside. It's just a steel bead. Well, it's empty. I mean, it's a bead, so it's full. But it's just
Yeah. But they don't. It doesn't have the stuff in it.
That's it.
Interesting.
All of these are used to recreate an almost exact replica, like 99.6% exact replica of whatever DNA. Replica of the person or creature or whatever, of whatever the DNA is inside. And with the events in San Francisco, start to, put two and two together. When the bead touched someone, it was able to turn, like it touched, one of them bounced and touched a bunch of people in the bus, right? And then you saw these exact same people down in the room.
Yeah.
So there seems to be a way for the bead to capture DNA. Maybe it's a different type that does that, because this one, looking at the ones you have, they can only store one strand of DNA in it.
Yeah.
So
Did we find any that have the supercomputer but not DNA?
Yep. There's a few of them.
Well, I think Anaya will. If Anaya touches that bead without a gloved hand, because obviously she's using gloves because you're in a lab, does her DNA appear inside that bead?
Because you opened it, I'm gonna need you to roll again, the exact same roll, no bonuses.
Okay.
That'll help me determine if the bead is still functional.
Okay, I'll roll a d4 this time since
Yeah, because you don't have the
d8 from the pool. Okay.
And we'll use the mid die.
Okay. 4.
Mid is a 4. It succeeds, but with a minor twist. It works. You touch it with your bare hand, and immediately you see that little... I mean, you have to have a microscope to it. And I'll say, because you have fancy technology, whatever the microscope is looking at is like displayed on a giant screen.
Yeah.
So you touch the bead, and you see on the screen the tiny reservoir just fills up with, if it was any bigger, I would say a drop of your blood, or like a fleck of like an infinitely small bit of your skin that has your DNA in it. However, because you cracked the bead open, you could not, that's going to be your minor twist, you cannot use it to summon a duplicate of you.
Well, that's okay, because Anaya didn't want to summon a duplicate of her, but she was considering maybe pocketing some empty beads and collecting DNA from other people.
Yeah, that would work. So that would be like one way to spend your hero points. Right? To have these items in the future.
That would be cool.
I'll tell you mechanically that only Simulacra can create the clones like she does.
Okay.
Unless, as you level up, when we end the first 6 issues, which is after next session, if you do sort of buy a new power or whatever, like that could be you, like Anaya, trying to replicate Simulacra's abilities.
It's true. I think she's more thinking of the, like, we take these with us, and if we encounter weird technology or weird people being morphed out of other people, you can grab some, like, she's thinking of like tiny test tubes almost, like, let's grab some DNA to study later.
Yeah. That also means that those aliens that you fought, those blue people, those were clones. Because they came out of the beads.
Yep.
Meaning that in some way, at some point, Simulacra touched one of them with the... That means that Manowar was also touched by the bead.
I was gonna say, it's like that Man of War came out of one of these, didn't he?
Yeah. Now, I'll give you that other tidbit, and then I'll move on to another character, but the beads are extremely fragile. Hence why they were kept in this piece of technology that you have no idea how it works, but the black cube. The black cube was just used to protect the bead.
Okay.
And the bead can apparently, project the clone, which is actual flesh and blood, across that black cube. So there's like a few technologies involved that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely very interesting. Moving on, just while this is happening, so we know that Anaya is going to be in the lab for like 24 hours. The rest of the team, what's happening with you?
So, so Bayani is in his normal clothes, and he's stopped outside of his building, because there was a government process server there who served him papers with a bit of a smirk, and then the guy disappears in a blink because he was actually a meta for the government, a speedster. And so Bayani just looks at the envelope and opens it and reads it as he's going back into the building, and his nose wrinkles a little bit, and then he just goes through the process to enter the base, and he's going to walk towards the room where he's been keeping his mementos from his adventures. And yeah, and so if anybody, the camera zooms in on the documents, it's a cease and desist order, saying that since Bayani no longer is a registered government operative, he is not permitted to use the uniform that he had been seen wearing in the adventure back in San Francisco. And he's rather irked by that, because if anybody does a flashback, there was another time where he was
wearing a different one. Yeah.
His original costume, there was a time where he lost a bet and was no longer allowed to wear his signature jacket, which is why he switched to a new uniform. And I don't know, is Archer in that room?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So he'll look up from his the notes in the folder and just glance at Archer with the mask and just say, I never really thought that you would be someone for sentimentality.
I don't know that sentimentality is really the word for it. I think spite's closer.
And Bioni's just going to nod over at the shelves. He had partially cleaned out some of the shelves, moved some of them, but he also moved the mementos that he did keep out and the costumes for, Planet Girl and Sugar Rush and his dad's. He moved them off into a corner and says, well, I always thought it was a really good idea to at least collect pieces from adventures or situations, just because it's a nice physical way of reflecting upon those times, which is a pretty good meditative exercise.
Why are they shoved off in the corner?
Because this is different. I want you to take over this room. I want you to start with that. He points at the mask. I want you to be the archivist, I guess, for the group.
She'll put the mask up on the shelf, sort of awkwardly place it facing outward. I mean, it's not a very good start. Mostly just took it out of anger. I don't know that that's a good.
Well, I'll say this to the rest of the folks, but you especially, I wanted to say that, the way you three handled yourselves back there was much better than most people these days could expect from government groups that have been doing this for years. What I'm most proud of the most is the fact that none of you hesitated. Thing that I've learned in this business is that it's more important to make a decision at the right time than it is to make the correct decision. So, not all your decisions are going to be made effectively. It's just something that builds up over time the more you're exposed to it. But as long as you're acting when it's your turn, it's you're always moving forward.
Act now, not act right is not the advice I expected to hear from someone trying to put together a superhero team.
Am I trying? I think it's already together. Might need some cool uniforms though, because
oh no, I ain't one for you. You will not catch me dead in spandex.
I never said it had to be spandex. He just jerked his head a little bit at the Planet Girls and Sugar Rush's costumes. There is a guy that I've been meaning to go meet for a while, and I think he can come up with something for all of you that suits whatever it is that you guys want to brand yourselves with, I guess.
What are the papers?
Nothing that you guys need to worry about.
I thought we were a team.
Well, it looks like I'm going to need a new uniform too.
If you don't mind me asking, who she'll indicate towards the two uniforms that he nodded at earlier. Who are they?
My last team, I guess.
Didn't last, or?
I don't know what happened to them in the blink. They were actually still working for Paragon Industries, but they were away on a space expedition, I guess. And never heard back from them after the blink.
So you tried to find them?
Well, after the blink happened, the resources and tech was not really available to us. There's a lot of more focus on recovery and trying to backfill everything that we lost when we lost all of the other metas. Governments tightened up on their hold on the technologies and such, and there was just less of that to go around to everyone else. We did okay because this company has been pretty strong for the most part, but those two were my entire space contingency, I guess.
Don't suspect we'll ever make it to space. We're not exactly superheroes.
I never really considered myself a superhero either, but I'm less concerned about those labels and just making sure that we continue to do what's right.
I mean, did you like it being a meta before the blink?
For the government? No, I mean, I was always an outsider. You see, most of the metas sort of drafted or recruited by the government agencies when they were teenagers, and then they race together from high school onward. It's I don't know, it's a little too Fast and Furious-y to be the whole family shtick, because it's a government-run or government-mandated family. It's like the X-Men, but worse. Maybe more like Umbrella Academy, actually. So
I never watched that. I know the X-Men. Heard of them.
But yeah. Anyways, like I told you, that's not the kind of life I would want for you three. It stifles a lot of growth in the end.
I don't know. I think, being a family sounds like it could be nice. For, people that works for, that like that kind of thing. If they want to be a family, then, let them. But I don't know.
It's just one day at a time. You'll get wherever it is that you want to get to, you'll get there eventually.
I don't know. As long as y'all get there, that's the important part.
No, you too. But enough about that. Sounds like you need a exercise to do. So, no, let me show you some drills on the speed bag.
Yeah, I could do with something to tighten up. Got sort of healing to do. Need to get back in fighting shape.
Oh, no, yeah, but I feel like maybe a little work on your control is good, and if you can use the speed bag with both your metal arm and your regular arm, and I think you'll find a lot more balance.
She'll just sort of dazedly nod and follow him to do the exercises that he proposed.
All right. Our next page panel. Fitz. What's going on?
Well, so Fitz, having been with Anaya for a large part of like the researching and some of the microscope stuff, which like he clearly doesn't understand you know, he would have had like a bouncy ball or like a rubber ball, like kind of throwing it against the wall kind of thing. Like he wouldn't have left to go to the gym to work out per se, but he'd periodically like do a few like exercises kind of thing, keep himself busy, fiddle with some of the techie kind of stuff. And at some point, you know, once Anaya was done like examining what she wanted to examine out of the marbles, he would have helped her actually like open up the marble to see like the inner workings, and then let her take the lead on whatever she wanted to do, and then kind of like fiddled with it himself afterwards. But I think after it all, like final panels would be Fitz outside, like kind of like in a dark alley-ish kind of location somewhere in the city, and he'd pull out his phone and dial a number into it, which only shows up as stars like on his phone. Like everything he does with it is kind of like encrypted. No one really sees what it is. And he's gonna like let it ring a few times, and it picks up on the other end, but there's silence. And he's just gonna say, Uncle Sam, I think you need to see this. And then he's gonna hang up the phone and walk away.
What was it? We see like you walking away, like just the, you know, last panel is from the point of view of the alley, and it's just like the shadow, the silhouette of Fitz against the broad daylight of Coast City. And we would stop there, but I'm gonna need to put like a preview panel of our next issue because someone played a chat in danger card.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna kick off our next issue with a little something. It's an adult, maybe like adult male, 30-ish years old, white shirt, long sleeve, buttoned up with a tie, pen protectors in like his like chest pocket, with like a bunch of pen and a calculator, pants, you know, pulled up as high as possible, a Clark Kent like haircut, and there's just this big like he's cowering right against the wall, and there's just the shadow of something that's like behind the camera, and the speech bubble would just say, "Give me your money, geek." And our next issue might be a little more, you know, there will be a lot of discussion, but there will be like a B story, which will introduce a villain by the name of Hyperbully.
Oh, good lord.
My God.
Hyperbully?
Hyperbully.
Okay. Ouch. I think I took psychic damage.
I love it.
You can thank Rat for that. And that's it
I'll
for
be
tonight.
sure to. Okay.
We learned some very interesting things, and I think slowly we're gonna see Bayani set up the new team to hopefully succeed where, you know, the older one didn't really.
No, the older one was fine. It's just that
They just disappeared.
it just disappeared
Yeah.
in the
So,
blink. I mean, a lot of folks disappeared during the blink.
Yeah.
yeah.
That,
And
yeah,
now Bayani's just stuck with what he's got.
Well, he did have a partner before these guys.
Fair.
And with 6 hero points gained tonight, do what you want with them. But we are going to pass the mic along. If you have anything you want to shout out, anything, any projects going on, players feel free to enter things in chat. I will go last. We'll do the same order as we did the intros, and we will start with Anaya.
Hey everybody, I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at Pooja, and the month of July, you can call me overscheduled. So, besides being here on Thursday nights with this wonderful crew making comic books, you can find me starting this Sunday on Sunday at 7 Central on Praxagora Thesmophorius channel with Simon, where we're going to be jumping back into Romance of the Blue Rose with season 2 and a cliffhanger that involves our very own wonderful DM. So that's this Sunday. After that, on Tuesday, you can find me on Manapot Studios channel on the Flights of Fandom show, in which we basically create fan fiction and reclaim fandoms from their toxic creators and toxic fans, if there are any, or otherwise we just play what we want to do. This Tuesday, we're going to be doing a one-shot set in the Hellboy universe. And the week after that, we'll be doing Agatha Christie. This last week, we did Archer. So lots of fun stuff around there. On Wednesdays, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be on Craftic RPG's channel, where we're doing a playtest of Omen's Rising, which is a wonderful system that is being created with Captain Chris Geary at the helm, and a lot of people are involved with it around the internet, and I helped write a culture, and that's a culture we're going to be seeing a lot of in the playtest, so do come by if you are interested in seeing gameplay, Q&A, and just kind of seeing how a system is being built from the ground up. And then I think that's it for me. Yeah, okay. That was a lot.
Yep. Quite easy, Pooja.
You're one to talk.
Yeah, well. Fitz, you're next.
Hi everyone, I am Andrew at Anderful1 on Twitter, and speaking of being overbooked, real life has me so condensed it's actually comical that a human being can do what I have to do, and that goes on for another 3 weeks. So this is kind of the only spare time I have. If I do have anything starting up or any projects to share, then you'll see it on the Twitter, which is not generally active anyway. But otherwise, you'll find me here every Thursday with this wonderful cast, doing what we do and having a great time of it. And that's really all for me.
Archer.
Hello. I am Hannah, Hanimation Art on Twitter, Hanimation Studios on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me here on Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. to play Sentinels of the Multiverse with this wonderful crew. Here on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. to play some Cyberpunk Red. Heck yeah. And Nino is also playing Cyberpunk Red. Heck yes. And then Saturdays here, 1 p.m. EST. Nino is playing with me since it's some Scion. But just like everyone else, my July and August is ridiculously busy otherwise. And I will be at several in-person cons in the next couple of weeks, back to almost back. I will be at MetroCon, followed by Tampa Bay Comic-Con, followed by MegaCon. They're, selling my stuff, having fun, seeing people, hoping not to get sick. So fun.
And last but not least, Bayani.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. I almost said Bayani again. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. I feel bad because I am not nearly as busy as everyone else is now. But I suppose I could use the vacation time. But in addition to the shows that Hannah talked about, I also will be appearing on Other Ducks channel Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the first long-running campaign that I've started streaming with, Invisible Sun. So certainly tune in for that if you enjoy a bunch of weird mages having brunch and solving mysteries in between. Hope that everybody enjoyed all the plot threads that sort of spun out of today. I had a lot of fun, and thanks to everyone who indulged in all of that. Looking forward to see what you guys do to pick up with that. So.
And I am Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight. Thank you, players, for taking some time off of your busy schedules to play in this fun superhero game. Thank you, chat, for being here, for keeping us entertained. And also thank you to all of you who played some of our trading cards during the stream. Like we said at the beginning, every dollar raised through these booster packs goes to pay our cast. I get to keep nothing. The entire cast gets to basically be rewarded for, one, taking the time to play, two, having to save your ass constantly, chat. So
We earn our pay, you know?
I was gonna say it makes us work for it, but also they have come in clutch so many times.
Yes.
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 It's
Yeah,
it's a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Very much
bonuses
so.
Were pretty clutch. Otherwise, you can find me tomorrow here for the premiere of Season 5 of Cyberpunk with our special guest, Jim Ryan. Then on Saturday, we're going to be playing some Scion. Then on Sunday at 8, it's 8, right, that we're playing? Puja on Sunday?
8 Eastern.
8 Eastern, yeah. For Romance of the Blue Rose, where I may or may not become a vampire. Then on
Prax is in chat. Prax can confirm.
Monday, yeah. It'll be on Praxagorithus Mephoria's channel, of course. Then next week, things are up in the air. We'll be back for Sentinels and everything, but we don't know yet for Icewind Dale on Monday. And then there are other projects that are coming up that will be announced as soon as I am allowed to announce them. On that note, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Raiders. So sorry you got in late, but we will see you next week. Ciao, everyone.